on these things and seeing all this negative energy, you know what I'm saying, that you once had. You don't want um I'm real big on thoughts are things. So you don't want all these people holding, thoughts about like your situation or about what you're going through, and feeding energy into things that could possibly keep you on a lower vibration, but from the things that we're going through. But it's like we choose to be messy, like, because no one's telling you to go on the internet and spread all your business and say all this, kind of stuff about you. I don't know. Me personally, I don't post nobody. Even when I had a boyfriend, I think I might have posted my boyfriend. We was together for like 4 years. I might have posted him like once or twice. I don't know. Like, I feel like a private life is, especially we have to, use social media as what it is. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a way to connect with almost anyone. You can connect with people around the world. So it's, we have to use it like that. Like, we shouldn't be going through because you see, they're not even high end couples like doing this or whatever. But you see just people on a daily, let's like on like your Facebook or your Instagram, things like that. I'll be starting to delete people if it gets to being too much. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Just because you gotta protect your own peace. But also we gotta understand the self-inflicted things that we are doing, in our lives. So I kind of want to touch on that because I've been seeing that everybody was breaking up and things and on the social media, and I was just and then seeing the things that they did after the social media. But one thing, Derek Jacks. Okay, so for you guys who don't know who Derek Jacks is like an influencer, Instagram, YouTube. I believe he's an author, wrote a book. He's married, supposed to give all this relationship advice. And, what I'm saying? He's always kind of, in my opinion, he's really, I don't know. He gives his own opinions or whatever, but he's like, he's portrays himself as this husband, this family man, trying to, it but okay, so it came out that he was cheating, right? Said that he was cheating on his wife, and so he didn't got made her sit next to him an apology. She's sitting there listening to him tell the world that he didn't basically emotionally cheated on her. He tried to say he didn't really cheat, tried to say they were separated, all this other kind of stuff, all the normal things that people say. But it's like it's hypocritical, really. See, but this is why I say that we got to take social media for what it is. Like, it's entertainment. We cannot be looking into these people and expecting them to be something other than human. Not saying that all humans cheat or anything like that, but most of the time when someone is telling you what you should be doing, or and basically tearing down, being judgmental of what people do, or what I'm saying, things like that, and they profit off of that, they're going to be doing those same things in their own home. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, that's just part of that's just really what it goes, because it's entertainment. They feed off what people want. Hey, Mrs. Walker, they feed off what people want to hear, what is going to get them the most viewers, what's going to get them paid the most. You know what I'm saying? These are influencers, right? So you shouldn't be surprised when things like this come out. What really was wrong, what really was crazy was his wife, to me, because I'm not about to sit next to you, but that's a totally different thing, because some women are okay with, not necessarily okay, but forgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like, if their husband cheats, once or twice, I guess. I don't know how many times I don't have a husband that, whatever. But some women, that's not the bottom line for them. Some it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is different, but she didn't seem like she was with it at any point in the thing. This, I might not should have wore this yellow shirt. I feel like I keep disappearing. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, my orange just disappeared. No, but It's bothering me. I want to go change. I'm trying to see. Okay, let me see. All right. So, oh, okay. Oh, I'm gonna be laughing when I go back and watch this show. But anyway, some women be okay with those type of things or whatever, and so it really just depends on what you're comfortable with or what you're, saying willing to deal with in your marriage and everything like that. It was just the going on TV, sitting next to him, holding his hand, you know what I'm saying? Like why he just basically kind of I don't know, you know what? I just don't understand why I don't know. And now she's going through so much criticism. She got people, I didn't see a post, they going back, finding pictures of her, talking about the way she dressed, talking like she deserved to be cheated on. Like people are so rude when you put the internet in your business. And I just really, I just send prayer right now out to her in positive vibes, you know what I'm saying? Just for her strength, because this is about to be a lot to go through. They always want to make it seem like if a woman gets cheated on, it's the woman's fault. Like you should have been doing this, or you should have been looking like this, or you supposed to keep yourself together and all this other kind of stuff or whatever. All these conditions that, if you're supposed to love someone, you're supposed to love someone unconditionally. And now you didn't put her out here to all these people. Her mind's already in a vulnerable state from being cheated on in her marriage. Like y'all are really married, y'all have children, like you are admitting to having, it's crazy. Y'all have to go watch the video. um, and then, now she has to deal with all the internet trolls as well, and I just don't feel like that was the smartest thing to do. People try to prove too much to the internet at sometimes, because you got to take, like I said, you got to take the internet for what it is. Like, shoot, you doing all this stuff, you got caught cheating, shoot, okay, well, I guess don't make no more videos saying that or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't even had addressed it. I especially wouldn't have dragged my wife into it. So that's really crazy in itself or whatever. And I just was blown away by that, really. And then also who's been in the news, March. Oh, real quick before I say yeah, before I go into Lil Mama comments, I'm trying to get these little topics out the way because I want to talk about some real stuff on the next the next segment of the show. Actually, two things, because it's really two kind of things that I kind of want to talk about, but I'm trying to hold them off because I don't want to have to stop. So anyway, Kirk Franklin. I don't know why everybody was thinking that we the nation of our people. I don't even y'all know I'm not a Christian, but I love gospel music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think gospel music is just subject to just one group of people, I don't know, but I love gospel music, especially, certain songs or whatever. So, and Kirk Franklin got some hits, and I don't know why people think, see, this is a thing or whatever, just because they said, just because this man is a Christian, I guess, and he might even, shoot, I don't even know if he a preacher. I feel like at one point he was. He a preacher, huh? Okay, so yeah, so a reverend preacher. He up there somewhere, So, yeah, but he had to cuss his son out, and then his son gonna try to record him and try to put it out to the internet again. Back to this internet, it's like people use the internet for justification for everything that they do nowadays, and I'm like, how did we get here? Like these things really control how our image of each other, how we talk to one another, how we feel, our image of ourselves, like the comparison and things that you see people go through. I just be listening to these type of things, because I'm telling you right now, my social media is going to reflect exactly what I want you to see. But I mean, yeah, it's my real life or whatever, but I'm not about to put all my trials and tribulations out there either, and so that's not the energy that I focus on, So it's like you're training our focus, and then it's also not like it's taking over your whole life. Like everything that you have to do had to be put onto the internet. But of course, he wanted to put that out there, hoping that he was gonna hurt his dad in some type of way, But when I look more into the story, okay, that grown man deserves to get you know. Now, don't get me wrong. I never condone the N word at all. Definitely don't condone the N word, but and not necessarily even cussing. You know, you don't have to really cuss someone out to tell them about themselves. However, if those are the words that he chose to use, those are the words that he chose to use. I don't see why people were expecting just because he was a preacher for him to not know cuss words or you know what I'm saying, to be able to be subjected to I'm really just gonna say what it is, the Lord self. He might say the devil or something, I don't know, but I say subjected to the Lord self. One thing that we got to understand, it's a daily fight. The fight that we go through, the war about the high between the higher self and the lower self. So do righteousness or evilness, however you want to look at it. But see, it's not to me, it's not good or bad. It's just higher or lower, you know. It makes more sense that way to me. But it's a daily battle, you know what I'm saying? Like, you struggle with these decisions every day. Like, you make 1,000 choices a day. Like, you know, creative faith made it that way. It's like we have reasoning, we have understanding, we are calculated. Well, most of us, we should be calculated in the things that we do, and you know what I'm saying, everything in the choices that we make. So we are always left with the choice of whether we're going to respond to something in our higher self or our lower self, whether we're going to move, which energy we're going to put out, which is going to allow what energy we attract. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of takes the whole you know, kind of control of your day if you let it, you know what I'm saying, if you don't change it, because it just keeps coming and coming in waves. But this is a daily battle on the inside of us every day, like with almost every decision that you make. You know what I'm saying? You have the choice of whether you're going to respond in a positive or negative way. And so just because someone is a divine minister, a preacher, a reverend, you know, a sheik, however, a imam, you know, however they may say it in your particular sector of belief, you know, whatever it is, but don't think that they don't go through the same, you know, challenges that we all go through daily. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, the Lord self tried. I'm not even gonna go there with y'all. I'm not gonna go there with y'all. But yeah, it's, you know, it's an Indian proverb about like the two wolves that live inside of you, and I think they use the words good and evil. Um, and so y'all should look that up. It's real cool. But yeah, so I don't really, you know, yeah, I don't put no one on a pedestal. I don't put nothing past no one. Like, judgment to me is like the worst sin that you could really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, judging someone else, like, you know, like what they're doing, you know. So I just, I don't know. Y'all should take that into consideration. I was reading the 7 spiritual laws of success, and the first one, they were talking about having like non-judgment days. So it's like when something happens, you're not going to put a judgment of good or bad on it, or you're not going to judge someone for something, you know, like, you know what judgment is. So it's like a no judgment day. And it's like, so yeah, so then it, to me, when I read it in a book, I realized, I was like, dang, this is a real problem, you know, that people have. And it's probably like a problem I find myself. I'll try to catch myself like, dang, am I judging this situation? Like, not judging someone else like in a, you know, like in a sinful way, but just like even a situation, you know what I'm saying? Or even a person sometimes. Like, you find yourself like, you know, just, I don't know, like just judging people, like even in your mind, even if you don't say it out loud, like judgment and thought, you know? So I try to catch those little things and everything, because it's like, nah, don't do that, you know, because to me, like, that's just the greatest thing that you can do, because everyone's accountable for whatever for what they do. But we gotta, as an individual, as self, you gotta be accountable for what self does. And you have to be willing and take responsibility for self. You don't really have the ability uh, to make someone act like a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You can't really control how they act. You can only control how you act. So, you know, that's real important to me. So real quick before the last thing I want to talk about before we 10 minutes, cool. Before I have to go on break, is Little Mama. Okay, so the rapper Little Mama, she's been in the news or social media whatever lately because she made some comments. Yeah, I got to go check out the video or whatever, but she made some comments about transgender children, right? And so, and this might have came at the same time Dwayne Wade was doing on a podcast, and they was calling him the GOAT of parenting. So, yeah. And I don't know if this said that, but here's the thing: you got to go watch the video or whatever. But Little Mama was saying some of the things that I've said on this show before. You know, first of all, it's nothing against adults who choose to live that life. It's nothing against, it's like every time you try to speak on these type of subjects or something, the world wants to call you homophobic. So it's like I'm not, scared of the, anything like this, but it's just my thing about it is how she made the example is when you're talking about children, especially children who haven't even hit puberty, they come a little girl comes up to you like, oh, I'm a boy, or I want to be a boy. You should ask questions like, well, why do you feel like you want to be a boy? Well, boys are strong and boys can do this and boys can do that. Well, girls can do that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know, not just go with it. I seen a guy that had to go to court about some stuff because he didn't want to give his daughter the hormones. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were literally forcing him, was gonna take her away from him if he didn't, and it's like, so now we're praising parents like Dwayne Wade who let their child, change genders or whatever, go through all this mental things that you don't really know how the hormones are going to affect their body. We talked about it when it happened. Don't really know if he's really going to want this decision in the future, but parents who try to protect their children and actually guide their children to being able to make the best decisions, not making the decisions for them, but being able to make the best decision for themselves when they're in the mental capacity to make those decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's like even going as far as not giving children genders at birth. Like, this is not the type of, no, like, you cannot make this the norm. We cannot allow this to become the norm because it cannot. I totally agree with what Lil Mama was saying. Like, you don't just shove hormones and medicines, and of course they do, because I'm sure these hormones cost you. I know how I feel about Big Farm, right? They always want to give you some type of medicine. They always want to find a way to demasculate our men, emasculate our women, defeminize our women, demasculate our men, or emasculate. I'm trying to use the right words, y'all. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's all to stop reproduction. It's all to stop reproduction. Because once you stop reproducing, how do you go on? If you start these little, it's ridiculous. And then at the end, and then it's like you should not be able to. You see, this is why I be thinking about the birth certificate things. I always be hearing that the birth certificate makes you like, oh, kind of like a ward of their state or something like that. Because it's like, how can the law or the courts or the judge come in and tell you how you have to raise your children? Like what you have to do with your children. Like, how are you gonna tell me what I have to do with, like that don't really make sense. And then it's like I should be able to parent my child the way that I want to parent my child. Have all these people coming out against her about these comments. And it's just like I don't understand what is so hard to understand about how the hormones and things, because all it is like they should be able to be at an age, a mental capacity to be able to make that decision. That's how I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong if that's how you feel. Trust and believe especially me, because of how I feel like the science of life works and reincarnation and how the genders come in. Like spirit contains both genders, so the process in the womb, like who knows? Like it's definitely possible, but however, you should still be able to make that decision at an age where you could be accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be like what my mom allowed to happen or did to me, because we want to blame our parents or our childhood on everything else. Talk about childhood trauma, abandonment, like all abuse, all these other things, they blame on parents. You know what I'm saying? But this is the one that they ain't gonna. It's cool. I'm gonna force you to do that. Why? Yeah, why? But yeah, so I feel like 16, 17, 18, you know what I'm saying? Well, 16, if you can drive a car at 16, if you have the mental capacity to operate a motor vehicle, they feel like you can operate a motor vehicle at 16, everything like that. I feel like you can be responsible for what it is you want to do in your life. So, is it that time? Have I talked too much? 3 minutes. So, yeah, 16 years old. Okay, cool. Like you want to take hormones? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? You want to put yourself in this position, because I'm still not with these sports. Everybody going to court feeling like, no, I'm not with the sports, like at all. Like y'all know how I feel. I don't feel like, physically, men, boys, whatever, are built different than women. They are meant to, stronger, physically, you know what I'm saying? So that's not going to change. I don't care how many hormones, you know what I'm saying, you pump into their body. They're still going to be physically stronger than probably all the girls, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna change the way the sports are for girls. And so the UFC, they didn't bash the transgender woman, bash the skull in of another woman. Why should they have to do that? Like, if they want to create a league of specifically for transgenders, whether girl or boy, I'm with that. They can do that. You know what I'm saying? Even in schools, y'all want to give them a bathroom? Give them their own basketball games. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm with that if y'all want to do that, if y'all just want to make someone feel inclusive. But to say that boys can just say they want to be a girl and then run girl sports and get scholarships in girl sports and things like that, I'm not with that. As a track runner, as a former athlete, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was pretty fast, you know what I'm saying, in track, but it was still boys my same age. Even my little brother, he's like 2 years younger than me. He's still kind of faster than me, you know what I'm saying, physically, because he's stronger. You know what I'm saying? He's a boy. He's supposed to be faster than me. But yeah, so I think I gotta, is it time? Oh, it's almost that time. Oh, okay. So I gotta take a break real quick, and then we're gonna come back to the second half of the show. I'll be right back.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We don't only bring you videos on Facebook and YouTube, but listen to our audio only, where you'll get shows like Cheryl Underwood and Blues Time in the City. You can pick us up at www.kuaw.org or go to the TuneIn app and search KUAW. Listen to us. We're on 24 hours a day. That's KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
Where you at, baby?
Sure, I'm at my first alma mater, Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia. CAU was the first HBCU in the southern United States. Shout out to our affiliate ATL Talks in Atlanta, Georgia, and everyone getting out there to vote for those 2 Senate seats. We love you.
That's what I'm talking.
You are listening to KUAW Radio, home of the all-new Jamal Bakes Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAWN, of and about our community.
This is the last weekend before Christmas, and on Blues Time in the City, we're wrapping up our all Christmas blues and Southern Soul program.
Gene Bailey.
We have a very special guest that you will definitely enjoy, and we'll hear from some of the artists that sing the Christmas blues. Join me, Gene Bailey, for Blues Time in the City this weekend before Christmas, right here.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
KUAW listeners, this is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades, coming to you every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW. This program features American students striving for excellence in honor of our troops and American veterans, encouraging American students. Please join us every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW.
Now,
Yeah, I can see me. Nah. I appreciate you guys letting us get our sponsorships out the way. Again, if you have a business or an event that you'll like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to email us at KUAW985@gmail.com. I'm normally reading it, y'all. No. At gmail.com. We do check our emails, so make sure to send us an email and let us know what's going on with you so we can let the community know what's going on with you. Okay, so the second half of the show, I'm trying to think. I got two things I want to talk about, so I'm trying to think which one I want to talk about first, right? But I think I'm gonna end with that because it'll probably lead me into a show next week. So, okay, so did you guys catch the Billie Holiday documentary thing or show on Hulu? So I watched this documentary, and it was some crazy things going on with Miss Billie Holiday. So let's start off with the United States, okay, was doing to Billie Holiday, and we didn't go into what she's doing to herself. But what the United States was doing to Billie Holiday, and this was the beginning of them starting to track our people and trace our people and set up our people. Like, oh my goodness, baby, I don't want to give away the movie, but hopefully y'all know the Billie Holiday story. But I'm trying to think this is when this they will starting letting like our people in the FBI, and they set up this whole force basically talking about the war on drugs, which we still have today, quote unquote. But they set up this whole force, and just to like infiltrate for our people, to infiltrate our own people. It's crazy because same thing like Judas and the Messiah, that movie just came out with Fred Hampton, and about the Black Panther Party and everything like that, and that infiltration of the Black Panther Party and how it was hired on. That tell you they hire us to kill us, you know what I'm saying? And not even, but kill, set up, all kind of stuff, right? And it's crazy because they even did it to this woman. She was so beautiful. Because I started looking up pictures and things, all kind of stuff like that, or whatever. And then I done added some songs to my playlist too. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. But anyway, so yeah, so they tried to frame her because she was a drug addict. She did use drugs or whatever. But when you hear the story of her life, not giving an excuse of why she was using drugs, but I could see how she did some of the things that transpired in the movie, like in her life. Like I could see how those things happen. just because of like based off of what they saying she came up from her upbringing, because childhood, we were just talking about that in the previous act. But however, so they tried to set her up and all this other kind of stuff. The dude, the agent, started. I ain't gonna tell y'all all the movie like that. I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking about it because it was so good, and I was just like, the United States government. Oh, so let's go into why. So she had this song called "Strange Fruit," and if you have never heard Billie Holiday "Strange Fruit," I would go just stream Billie Holiday "Strange Fruit." Okay. It's really sad. It's crazy because I could see a version of Strange Fruit today. You know what I'm saying? Like in the same things that we're going through today, the same things that we're going through back then or whatever, we're still going through the same thing about the way our people getting treated and everything like that. Her song Strange Fruit was about basically witnessing a lynching. And the United States didn't want her to sing this song. When she performed and everything like that, they didn't want her to sing this song. They said she was igniting a riot. You know what I'm saying? For educating our people, or just reminding our people of the things that we go through. You know what I'm saying? Putting it into music or whatever. They just want you to get up there and entertain, And it's crazy because I see the way the music industry has changed now, because most of the time now all they doing is entertaining. They don't really have any true messages. They're not really, speaking to people because they learned how to control this. And so since they didn't want her singing this song and she kept singing this song, they tried to frame her with heroin. They tried to set her up. They tried to have someone infiltrate her. He ended up anyway. And yeah. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to go see it. The other thing about her, about the Billie Holiday documentary, is the way she didn't know the way her childhood affected how she received love. And it made me think about a lot of women, today that accept in domestic violence relationships, and we be like, how can a person go through that? You know what I'm saying? Or how can a person allow themselves to go through that? Even we was talking about the cheating earlier with old guy and his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when saying some people allow these things to, happen to them or motivate them or push them, or and people on the outside looking like, how can you do that? Like, you cool with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that ain't cool, but we never know what a person goes through or like how they receive love or anything like that. And then it was when she was presented with something that was better than what she was getting. My head itching, I'm sorry. When she was presented with something that was better than what she was getting, she didn't really know how to receive it. She didn't recognize it. It felt foreign, you know what I'm saying, to her. She felt like it was affecting like her artistry and who she was, It's crazy. And then so it just made me think about that. It made me think about how differently people receive love and show love, and what they feel like love actually is, right? And I used to think that love was one of those words that was kind of like loyalty, rich, like everybody basically has their own definition or level of when that, that level, or their own level of what that is, their own, kind of defining line of what that is or whatever. And so I used to think love was like that too. But then I realized that love is a frequency. You know what I'm saying? It's a frequency level that you live on, that you dwell on. Kind of like how when we talk about being friends with past exes or, people that you may have dealt with or whatever. And it's like, y'all don't deal with each other on that level anymore, maybe on like an intimate level or something like that, but y'all still friends, right? But it's because the love, if it's true love, like that's not going to change. Like if you are a person that manifests love, if you're moving in love, then that's not going to change. And that's how you can be friends, basically with anyone. You know what I'm saying? You know how to deal with anyone or whatever, because you're going to make sure that you're, whatever's in your presence or what you're doing, you're dwelling on this frequency of love. So yeah, when I came to that conclusion and started looking at life, a lot, not simpler, but it came, it's like, okay, yeah, because, the frequency you dwell on is important because of the law of attraction. The law of attraction is always working. It's always, it's just there. So it's important to know how to tap into those, energies and what it is that makes those type of things work. So for you to be able to create the reality of, what your heart desires, right? So you got to be able to know how to tap into those things and tap into those frequencies and everything like that. And so once I learned that about love, it's like it really changed the view on it. Even when you hear about, like, I know I'm going all over the place with this, but even when you hear about, I'm just saying what's going with me. But even when you hear about like the prophets, like we know that Jesus wasn't a Christian, like Jesus taught love. Muhammad wasn't a Muslim, like Muhammad taught love. Buddha wasn't a Buddhist, like Buddha taught love. You know what I'm saying? These are all manifestations of love. So when they say be Christ-like, you should be the manifestation of love. Even as a Moorish American, you open the Quran, it's gonna say you need to learn to love instead of hate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the first thing you got to understand. And then I always think about things in polar opposites. That's also universal law. It's like with these polar opposites, you got to understand that there's a high and a low of everything. Right? There's the spectrum. There's a high and a low end of almost everything that you can think of. So when I say dwelling your higher self, like your thing got to be high all the way around. And love is like one of the best frequencies to be able to create on, to be able to really manifest on and everything like that. So if you always moving on high frequencies, then, you're going to be in there. So anyway, I went totally sideways on that. That ain't even what I was supposed to be talking about. I need to write that down, make that shot. But anyway, people, experience love different or whatever. So when she received, kind, caringness and everything like that from men, she didn't even know how to handle it. She pushed it away. And all these bad things that kind of help kind of happening or whatever, until she finally was in the hospital and somehow she got some heroin. Probably set up, and it was her. Oh my God, y'all gotta watch it because the people that was in on setting her up. Oh my God, y'all would never believe. That's why we gotta watch it. But anyway, yeah, she died in a hospital bed, handcuffed to a hospital bed because they said they found heroin on her. Finally, on her deathbed, they finally was able to pin some heroin on her. And I've used those words like that, you know what I'm saying? Because there's just ain't no way they didn't. But ain't no way they didn't. They kept trying to do it the whole time. Like it ain't no way they didn't. And yeah, but it was very interesting. And then it made when watching the movie made me understand some lyrics to her songs even more. Like yeah, I added some songs to my playlist. I like the, and I just like the sound of them. It's crazy because I ain't never really heard of Billie. I don't know if I even heard a Billie Holiday song. So I don't know. It was interesting to me. It was cool. It was cool. Y'all should definitely check that out. We put into a lot of perspectives, like I said, especially about the song "Strange Fruit," about like some things that we'll be going through today, and then like I said about the music industry and how the music just changed and how it's controlled by, control is a crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? We see it in so many different forms and ways, and I know y'all gonna like this transition, but real quick because I got to get this out too, because we just went through a daylight saving time. I believe it was last week. time. And I know this is going to turn into a whole show, so I just want to kind of give y'all a little snippet of what it is, but I am going to put together like a show about this daylight saving time. First of all, it's crazy because I always thought it was savings, like with an S, and it's not. It's daylight saving time. So, okay, so real quick, and we're just gonna get to the nitty gritty. Like it started in Germany in 1916, World War I. Yeah, really has nothing to do with this Benjamin Franklin. Oh, so he didn't invent it. I'm trying to figure out what I was trying to get to. Okay, so so in the United States, let's just go with when it came into the United States, okay? So it was implemented March 31st, 1918, as a wartime measure. So, okay, so this is one thing that this cleared up about me too. It's like they used to, I always thought daylight saving time was like for the farmers to like get more sunlight or something like that. But the farmers were actually against daylight saving times because they work off the sun anyway. And so it kind of threw off their like their production times and all kind of things like that. So and then they said it was a wartime measure. Let me see. In 1919, they repealed for the nation daylight saving time was passed to Congress. So the president at the time was Woodrow Wilson. He actually vetoed the idea of nationwide daylight saving time. He didn't want it. But Congress overrode him and it was implemented into the United States, but it was more, that's why Mr. Walker said it was communist, because it helped more with outlets and recreational businesses, like people making money and everything like that, than it actually did for like farmers and saving energy as well. Like that's a myth about it saving energy. And so then also once it was actually implemented, well, years later in like 1963, they had this thing called like the chaos of clocks. And basically all states and cities and stuff had their own times. So some people was doing daylight saving time 2 weeks before daylight saving time was even supposed to be done. Everybody was on different time schedules and things like that. It was hard for the buses. Because like moving from state to state or city to city because of the different times and everything. So in 1966, the enactment of the Uniform Time Act was taken. So that's really we're gonna talk about that on next show as well, because I want to look into that and more into what that is, because I kind of want to talk about this thing called time. We're gonna get to that too. I gotta make sure that I got time. Okay. Make sure I got time. So the Uniform Time Act, which makes it the last Sunday in April and then the first Sunday in October. But states do have the option, even in the Uniform Time Act. Now, this is something that I didn't know, but even in the Uniform Time Act, states do have the option of remaining on standard time year round. Hawaii and Arizona actually do not abide by daylight saving time. And then it's like other U.S. territories like Guam, Puerto Rico, things like that. They don't abide by daylight saving time either. They remain on standard time all year round. And they were saying just because like people were closer to the equator and stuff like that, like it don't even matter. And it doesn't save like energy. So here's my thing when it comes to daylight saving time and time period, right? Because I'm one of those type of people that if you ask my friends or my family or whatever, they'll be like, she's always late. I'm probably late for everything I do except the truth be told, to be honest. And I'm just keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? But that's because to me, time is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Like we say this thing, to me, it's a matter of control. Yeah. Like, you can't tell me what to do when I have to do something. Like, especially if it could just be changed this simple. Like, they just pick the day. Like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna change. And I mean, I'm sure the Earth rotation ain't changing for them to be changing the time and things like that or whatever. And then I always think about how it can be 6 o'clock in California, 8 o'clock in Missouri, 9 o'clock in New York, but we all supposed to be on the same. But it's time. This is called the truth be told, right? I have to make sure it's truth cannot change, right? So time can't be real because it changes every second. You know what I'm saying? It's like it no, when I get there is when I get there. And what I do, what I do, like my body naturally have it does what it does. Like get to a point where I don't have to use an alarm clock or, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. It's just, I know what I have to do mentally. So, it is, I'm going to get up and do it. What time that is what time that is. Nah, it ain't that. I'm not that bad, y'all. I'm really not that bad. But yeah, time is an illusion. It's just something that a measurement is something that we measure up our minds to. It causes stress. People like, I'm always late. I can't be late. Or you guys tell me, think about this over the next couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so next time we get together, you can let me know what you think about. Like, if you think time is real, and when I mean real, like, yeah, explain to me if you think it's real, then explain to me what's real about it. Like I said, it can be changed from when you think about this daylight saving time, like, just for people to, I don't even understand. Like, I even reading the articles and things and stuff that I read, so I'm gonna have to look into it a little bit more just to get a more deeper understanding of why they really felt like they needed it, and how it actually got passed. But like I said, the president at the time didn't even want daylight saving time. It's like, what do you think the world would be like now if we didn't even have daylight saving time? Yeah. Because like I said, if it's real, it's our manner of control. And to me, it's a manner of control. Like, it's just, like, if I can, it's just someone controlling, like, and this trying to control you 24 hours a day. You stuck to the clock. Oh, what time is it? You're always thinking about, like, what time is it? Am I late? You stress over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, why? Like, what if we just stopped? Like, not just stop time. I'm not saying just stop time, but I'm just, well, maybe I am saying that. I mean, I guess you can do that because we have things like this. You have to schedule it, something. You have to have some type of measuring system to work within this, world. But as our minds, like, when we even think about, like, being married by a certain age, or completing school by a certain age, doing, there's a lot of things that they say you should do or have done by a certain time, I'm saying, in your life. Like, if we don't hold ourselves up to those things, we can reduce a lot of stress that we might cause on ourselves. Yeah. But birthdays, no. That's the measurement of time we got to keep. Not just playing. But yeah, I guess it is I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm really curious to wonder what people think about that, like, about that concept or whatever, about the concept of time. It's like, it's man-made. A lot of people say everything is man-made, you know what I'm saying? But it's man-made, so it came from us. So it couldn't have been here originally, like, I'm gonna look into that too. Like, it definitely couldn't have been here, because we invented it. So it couldn't have been here before us, so the invention can't come before the inventor. And not even as daylight savings time, because back in the day, they really used to measure time by the sun, like, even measure the day by the sun. Like, even when you think about the story of, like, I don't want to get into that, but when you talk about Easter, like 3 days, 3 nights and everything like that, and you have, like, the Good Friday to Easter Sunday, when it's like he was really crucified on a Thursday. If you go by the way they measured the day. Because, like I said, the day wasn't measured by like the clocks and stuff we have now. They were measured by the sun. So when the sun set and then when the sun rose, you know what I'm saying? So, and then like sundown the next day, things like that. So, I mean, not things like that, but like, so Thursday would have start at sundown to sundown. I believe it. That's how I go. I don't know. I'm going to look into that again, but I know it's something like that. Yeah, because that's only 12. Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't start calculating in my mind. But yeah, so definitely think about that. I'm doing a little bit more research into this Uniform Act. I know I wasn't going to have all the time that I needed to talk about this subject, and I'm going to do a little bit more communicating with you guys again so we can really talk about this and think about this, because it's something that I think about a lot. But real quick, Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation, you are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. When you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace. He not even on. Peace.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas